Page 52, Willie and Tillie. In this lesson, they're introducing you to a thing in music we call an incomplete measure, or it could be called a pickup measure. It could be called an anacrusis. It's got all kinds of names. The point is, there's not enough beats in the measure according to the time signature. You see, if time signature says you got to have a certain number of counts in every measure. Well, with an incomplete measure like this, it's not complete. However, let me explain what's going on. If you look on page 53 at the end of the second line, you'll see a half note in that measure. Well, that's just 2 counts. That's an incomplete measure. So what they usually do is they take the last measure of the piece and they chop it. And they take the end of that measure and they put it at the beginning. So this is at the beginning, that's beat 3 of the last measure. It's just a way of starting on some other beat other than beat 1. We don't always want to start on beat 1. We want to be able to start on any beat we want. And this is how they do it. Well, it's one way of doing it. Also, I want to point out about the whole rest. Remember I said a whole rest has 2 duties. It could be the same as a whole note, or it could just represent the whole measure. And here it's 3/4 times. There's only 3 beats in a measure. But if you look at the top line here and the top staff there, they're all whole rests pretty much. You get a quarter rest at the beginning, then whole rests. Well, that means each of those rests get 3 counts. It just represents the whole measure is all. Let's look this piece over and see what we got. It is 2 pages long, more or less. Treble and bass clef, 3/4 time signature. We have a pickup beat, so we're coming in on beat 3. I see quarter notes, half notes, dotted half notes. Think we can do that. We got a bunch of tied notes. Think we can do that. The hands are playing at the same time. I'm going to take it one hand at a time. Now they give you that chart for G position. I would prefer you not look at that chart. Let's look at the music, and you just put your hands where the music tells you to put it. So starting with the right hand, when it comes in, at the bottom of page 52, the last note is right hand. That's 5th finger on that D, and you should know that's a D. Here, so you're here. If you don't know the names of the notes in the music, then keep doing that play and say it drill until they become automatic. It's important. So it's here. And then going on page 53, it's just, they're all quarter notes. That's not a problem. You get that. And then the last 2 measures, that G, that's tied, so you're going to hold that down for 5 counts. Left hand, well, left hand starts thumb here, and then put your hand here. And it's here. On page 53, you have a G and a D together. We've had this before, and they're tied, so you're going to hold them down for 6 counts, and then play it again, hold that down for 6 counts, and then go to the second line, the last 2 measures. You're here, quarter notes. That's okay. Then we put the hands together. Well, at the beginning, it's only the left hand playing. So let's start with the last note on page 52, here. And then going on to page 53, you're here. And then again. Get the idea? So you put the hands together. Then go back through and get rid of any hesitation, so it's a steady beat, a steady pulse. And then we think about the articulation, which they don't give any. Isn't that nice? Follow the words. Where are the sentences in the words? Just lift up between them. Right here at the beginning, my old Uncle Willie. Then lift up. So the last measure, the first line. I put a little silence there because it's a new sentence. Same thing in the right hand going on. Look at the page 53, the first line, the last measure in the right hand. You see that? Well, lift up. It's end of a phrase here at the start. And this brings out something that happens a lot in music, and you can kind of look for it. You'll notice it starts with a pickup beat. The phrase starts with, the song starts with, the phrase starts with a pickup beat. Ba-dum, to here. Well, most of the time when that happens, all the other phrases, or most of them, will also start with a pickup beat. So in the last measure, the first line on page 52, the left hand, that finishes, then a new phrase. The new phrase starts with a pickup beat. You kind of look for these things. So if I'm going to start a phrase with a pickup beat at the beginning, I'm probably going to start phrases in the song with a pickup beat. So I kind of look for that. Don't have to, but a lot of times it just works out that way. Then the dynamics, MF, mezzo forte. Okay, whatever you think moderately loud is. And at the bottom, the last note, they give MF. You don't need that MF there. You're already MF. You only need the one at the beginning. But again, on page 53, if you can, play this left hand lightly. The last two measures. All the time I'm playing this, I want to hear that. That's the melody. So play this lightly. It should be a little easier here because once you played that, you're done with that hand. You can focus on this hand. I'm leading into something here. If I can get you to play one hand louder than the other, you should take turns too. Which hand is louder and which hand is softer. You can do that with a G position or C position. If you're here, just play the notes. Or C position, doesn't matter what the position, just play the notes. And then you can practice these louds and softs doing that. Play this loud and this soft. And then switch them. Play this loud and this soft. You're just putting more weight on that hand than the other, and this takes time. Be patient. It'll come eventually. Some people get it pretty quickly. Show-offs. The rest of us, we had to work at it. So I'm asking you to start working at it now. I'm leading into something that we're coming. If you can prepare for that now, start working on it, it helps. Now back to Willie and Tillie. Speed cheerfully again, just be happy. However fast you think happy. To me, a happy is somewhere kind of a fast moderato. Sound of a See the repeat sign at the end, the bottom page 53. You go back and play it all again. So really it's twice as long as it looks, but you only have so much music to learn. Don't forget the natural accents. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And this is really, really super important, and even more so when it starts with a pickup beat. The listeners should always be able to tell where the first beat of a measure is. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So when it starts with a pickup beat, if you don't put in the natural accent, they'll think the first note you play is the first beat of the measure. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. It'll be off. So put it to here, to here, to. Think 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I exaggerate them so you can hear them better, but really just feel it. Just think of it. Natural accents. Let's play this together very slowly and check the notes and the rhythms. Not going to do any dynamics. I'll play everything about the same. I'll give us 2 counts because we come in on beat 3. So just go ready, go, and then we go. Ready, go. repeat.